Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video, and it's winter, which means it's very cold. And if you do parkour, then you know that when you're outside and you're doing parkour and you're super cold, it's not very fun. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about cold weather and how to deal with it when you're doing parkour. So the key to staying warm when you're doing parkour outside in the cold is multiple layers. So I'm going to be talking about how I dress and how I stay warm when I want to do parkour outside. So whenever I filmed my cheat gainer practice video, I was wearing multiple layers of clothing. So I'm going to be talking about what I wear on each layer and how it helps out. So the first layer of clothing that I have is thermal clothing. So these are some thermal pants right here. They're made by the company Columbia. I'll have a link to all this stuff in the description, you know, if I can find a link, which I should be able to. Alright, so check this out. So the inside, as you can see, it's made out of this shiny looking material. Well, what that does is it actually reflects body heat. So this is my first layer. I have pants and I also have the shirt. Hold on. Alright, this is made by a different company, the shirt that I'm wearing. But basically what thermal clothing does, you can just Google thermal clothing if you want to find it. So thermal clothing is the first layer and it reflects body heat back. And this is very important because it's actually extremely lightweight. Like, you pretty much can't even tell that you're wearing it. It's very close fitting to your body. And this is really great because it's extremely flexible and it keeps you very warm. So my next layer of clothing is my big baggy sweatpants. Okay, when you wear really baggy clothing, you have little tunnels that cold air can get in. So it's really important to wear tight fitting clothing, that way air can't get in. But I do parkour, so I can't just not wear baggy sweatpants. I mean, come on. As far as my legs go, that's it. I just wear the thermal pants and some baggy sweatpants. So I already said this, but I am wearing a thermal long shirt too. And on top of that, I just wear a regular, if I can figure this out. Okay, I just wear a regular long sleeve shirt. It's nothing special. It's not thick. It's actually kind of thin, but it's just an extra layer to, you know, be a little bit more warm. Alright, so here's that. Alright, so my next layer is a hoodie. Obviously a hoodie is great because you have the hood so you can put that up over your head. That way the back of your neck and your ears aren't going to be getting all cold. And hoodies are obviously designed for being warm, so, you know, this is different from just this, you know, this thin little random shirt that I just took out of my closet, because this shirt isn't exactly designed for keeping me warm. It's just a shirt. But the majority of hoodies that you'll find, you know, the purpose is to keep you warm. So obviously a hoodie's a little bit more important than having a long shirt. But if you have a long shirt, then I recommend putting it on. Alright, one other thing that you should probably have is a hat. So obviously, you want to keep your head warm because your face, it gets cold pretty easily, especially your nose, because your nose, it doesn't have a ton of blood flow. It's really just a bunch of cartilage. Same thing with your ears, so your face gets cold pretty easily, so I recommend getting a hat. You know, a lot of people say that you lose, like, the majority of your body heat through your head. Okay, that's a myth. That's actually not true. You only lose 7 to 10% of body heat through your head. But that doesn't mean that it isn't important to keep your head warm. You must keep your head warm. That's, you know, that's very crucial. So a lot of people say you can wear face masks, and you can, but the problem with face masks is when you're breathing out, you know, there's a lot of moisture, you know, because you're breathing water out. And the moisture, it gets all up in the face mask, and that'll freeze, and moisture draws heat away from your body, and that's really bad. So I don't recommend a face mask. I wouldn't personally wear one, but if you want to wear one, I guess you can, but it may or may not work out for you. Alright, this next one may not be necessary, but I recommend getting some big wool socks. Okay, these socks are super thick. If only you could feel these socks that I have right now. They're pretty thick. They're thick and they're made out of wool, so they're very warm. It's not necessary, but if you want to wear these, then you can. I mean, why not? You know, if your feet are cold, you're doing a lot of footwork when you do parkour. I mean, pretty much everything you do in parkour, it has to do with your feet one way or another. So it's very important to keep your feet warm. Not necessary, but if you have wool socks, I recommend it. Okay, my parents have friends over right now, and they're running around, and they're being extremely loud, so if you hear them in the background, I apologize. Alright, one last time, I'm going to run through all my clothing. So, my first layer is thermal clothing, and again, I'll have links to all these in the description, as long as I can find a link, which I should be able to. So my first layer is thermal. My second layer is, I have some baggy sweatpants. Like I said, tighter fitting clothing is better. If you do parkour, you're probably not going to be wearing really tight sweatpants though. But I'm just throwing that out there. Alright, so my next layer of clothing is just a long sleeve shirt. It's not necessary, but it just helps me stay a little bit more warm. My next layer is a hoodie. I highly recommend having a hat. Also, if you can get some super warm socks, that would be great. One thing I forgot to mention is having gloves. You can totally have gloves. I highly recommend it. I know some people don't like having their hands completely covered up because then you can't like grab onto stuff, and there's a simple solution to that. So obviously these don't look amazing because These are just regular gloves, they're not super warm, they're kind of thin. I just cut the fingertips off so whenever I put my hand in it, you know, my fingers can come out. Alright, yeah, so this has been my video on staying warm outside when doing parkour. The winter can get pretty cold, so if you can learn how to deal with it, that's pretty great. So anyway, that's all I had for this video. I hope this helped you out. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments below. Drop a like on this video if it helped you out. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I will see you next time.